Hey, YouTube, Twitch, anyone else watching out there, Mr. McMahon, how you doing? Thanks for coming back. Welcome back to OPW Live. We have just 2 days away from AEW All Out, and so it is time for, once again, our prediction contest. We did it for SummerSlam, and of course, right here, right? So I'm going to look to go 2-0.
Yeah, well, I still say the only reason why you won in SummerSlam because you get those AEW matches, but
whatever. Anyway. So we're gonna do predictions for AEW All Out. As usual, we will have a punishment for the loser. We have decided that the loser will do the cinnamon challenge, which means a spoonful of cinnamon on screen. It's gonna be awful. It's gonna be awful to watch. Good thing I'm gonna win, so I won't have to do it. But we'll see which one of Alex and James are gonna have to do it.
Don't get cocky.
I will get cocky. It's fine. So I have the card in front of me. We'll run down the matches with you. We'll do what we did last time. We'll go round robin, starting from my right, which I think is everyone else's right as well, which is really over here, which is my left, but it's the right because that's where James is on my screen and where James is on your screen too. We'll go just kind of what we did round robin as I read down the match cards. So right now they have, I think I have the most updated card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches scheduled for All Out. So let's start with what's going to be on the buy-in, which is the free show that happens out. It is Dr. Britt Baker DMD with Reba Rebel, whatever her name is, versus Big Swole in a tooth and nail match. So the stipulation is tooth and nail. Apparently it's going to be a Falls Count Anywhere match inside a dentist's office. So James, who's winning?
Britt Baker.
Dr. Baker?
Dr. Baker.
Dr.
Did you know she's a dentist?
Respect on name. Yeah,
yes, I know she's a dentist. I didn't know she was a dentist. I didn't hear that at any time.
Put some respect on that DMD.
Since I've been watching the show, I've never heard anything.
Dental medical doctor.
Sounds about right.
Right? That's what DMD stands for.
Yeah, so someone's going to try. I already see the match in my head. Swole's in the chair. Yeah, Dr. Britt Baker. And they're going to do that camera angle where they see the drill coming at her. Yeah, I say she pulls it off.
All right.
This is her first match.
I don't think I needed that mental image in my head. I still remember the last. Remember the last time I went to the dentist. I don't think I need to relive that. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to agree, and say that, especially considering this is Britt's return after being injured for the 11th millionth time. That I think Baker's gonna win this, or excuse me, Dr. Baker is going to win this.
Dr. Britt Baker DMD.
Oh, did you know she's a dentist? Excellent.
I did.
Oh.
But even though she's a dentist, I actually think Big Swole's going to win. She's big, she's swole. Not really, but, I love it anyway. I just don't think that they're going to put over the heel on the buy-in.
Okay.
Because you want people to get excited for the show, and you get excited for the show by the character that people love. And people love Big Swole because she's funny. She's different. So I think she's going to win that one.
That's fair.
All right. So we'll start with you with the next match, Alex. So we have Matt Hardy versus the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, in a Broken Rules match. If Matt Hardy loses this match, he must leave AEW. Who do you got?
Well, see, the true quote-unquote smart in me is trying to figure out what Matt Hardy's contract status is if we're already teasing the possibility of him leaving AEW. But as it stands, I'm just going to go with Hardy. I feel like the moment you say someone's going to, or that someone must leave AEW, it almost telegraphs, especially if it's a face, that they're not going to leave.
Yeah.
Like if it was a loser,
and especially it's only one of them. Like we just saw this on SummerSlam, but except it was the loser leaves.
If this was just loser
sucked.
leaves AEW, it would be up for grabs. It could be either one, but no, Hardy wins.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It sucks that they're putting this extra stipulation on there. I think it would have been better without it, so Sammy could win the match because he needs to win more than Matt Hardy does. But I think Matt Hardy's going to win because he's not going to leave AEW.
What do you got for us, James?
Well, it's going to be Hardy, same as you guys. honest with you, I wish he would lose and leave AEW because he's much better than place, but ain't gonna happen.
Hot fire.
And,
Hardy loves AEW because remember WWE wanted to retire him and make him a coach, and he wasn't ready for that.
And in AEW, he gets to explore the full multiverse of Matt Hardy, apparently.
I thought right now he's basically
he's
Matt Hardy.
Just Matt Hardy right now. But I'm saying
he's Matt Hardy, but he is all of the Matt Hardy that have ever existed at the same time.
Yeah,
for some reason.
Weird.
Like it's silly, but if he's happy,
it's even weirder if you watch the Being the Elite videos where he does kind of all of the characters in different segments. But yeah. Okay, so we're all in agreement that Hardy's gonna win this for sure, which is a little disappointing.
I wish they didn't add that.
Honestly, Sammy should win. They shouldn't have that. Sammy.
Yeah, they shouldn't have that stipulation.
Really build up Guevara as a guy. Sammy should win, but having him putting his contract
are
career
you putting Matt Hardy in the main event after this? Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah,
anyway, next match was made after Thursday with the 8-man tag that they did. It's going to be Jurassic Express, which of course is Jungle Boy and my boy Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick, in a tag team match. Although they are starting to get interesting as they're like getting like heelish. I go first. My head says the Bucks, but my heart says Jungle Express. I'm never picking the Bucks, so Jungle Express, that's who I'm picking. My boy Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Like, why is Luchasaurus not the world champion right now? He is just so great. All right, James.
I'll go with you, Luchasaurus.
Jurassic Express as well.
I think they're a good tag team.
Listen, I'm honestly I'm throwing this, so this is.
I don't like. Honest with you, I'm not a fan of the Bucks, either heel or face. I've never been a fan of them. I've always thought they were they too much on themselves. But even if they're going heel and everything, which actually heel would be a more natural place for them anyways. I think they've always been a much better heel team than the face team.
Yeah.
You have to. I would, if you want to, if you're setting up what I think the way they're setting this up with FTR.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. With what the tag team title match later. Jurassic Express winning would be a good way to set up Jurassic Express as the next number one contenders for the tag team titles.
Be great.
And everything. So
I imagine whoever wins this match is going to be number one contenders.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Hey Audrey in chat, how are you doing?
Hey,
Alex, your prediction though?
Let me just put it this way. I'm gonna start off by I'll just start off with my pick. I'm gonna go ahead and be the contrarian. I'm going to pick the Bucks just in case.
Honestly, that's probably the smart pick,
but I'm also going to give to give my concession here, because I do realize with this kind of change in attitude of the Bucks at the moment, because we saw last week on Dynamite that they lost their chance to go for the tag titles because Hangman Page decided that he didn't want to deal with the Bucks. So as a result of that, we see the Bucks getting a little more, I guess, more serious, but certainly more angry. I think it's possible that their anger might cost them the match, or interference from FTR might cost them the match. But I'm going to go with the safe pick. I'm going to go with the Bucks.
All right. Let's go ahead to the next match then. I honestly think that's the right pick, but,
we shall see.
I have to go with my heart here. Anyway, so the next match is an 8-man tag match. It will be the Dark Order, which is Brody Lee, Colt Cabana. I guess he's in the Dark Order. They haven't really resolved that, but he's in it.
He's there. He's not doing anything. He's just there.
And then plus Evil Uno and Stu Grayson versus the team of Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, Scorpio Sky for some reason, and then the Natural Nightmares, which is Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, accompanied by QT Marshall's girlfriend Allie. It's an 8-man tag match. James, you are up first. Will it be the Dark Order or the not Dark Order?
Oh God! If they're trying to do what I think they're trying to do with the Dark Order, it would be behoove them to have them win this match. It'd be trying to make them look strong going forward, and winning this match would be.
Didn't forget to say that Brody Lee is the TNT champion. He's in this match.
Yeah. So
star power.
Yeah. But no, if you're trying to right at this moment, the Dark Orders right now could be considered the number 2 heel, or maybe the number 1 heel group now, because the Inner Circle really hasn't done anything, I believe, in a while. So Dark Orders is the top heel group. So much as I want, I'm always for the baby faces. I like the baby face to win on a pay-per-view at the time. You trying to build the Dark Order as a serious threat, having them beat the baby faces would be the right move. I think with that.
All right.
That's just in the story standpoint.
I'm very much in agreement there with James. Quite honestly, in every detail, as basically the closest. This is as close as I think we're definitely having to them being the number 1 heel faction in the moment, because Inner Circle hasn't really been like, they're not in the title. Nobody's in the title picture at the moment. Because Jericho's still focused on his feud with Orange Cassidy, and everything else is kind of centered around that. Like the rest of the Inner Circle,
all Proud and Powerful have been feuding with Best Friends right now.
But neither of those teams
because Santana said he boinked Trent's mom.
But those two teams are kind of on the fringe of the tag division at the moment. That's what it seems like, at least.
I mean, so technically, Best Friends are the number 2 contenders. Like,
then it's certainly possible. But at the moment, the fact that the Dark Order had the TNT champion in their group.
Yeah.
No,
I get you.
I appreciate the heads up on that, because sometimes the rankings and stuff gets confusing.
We get the details,
But right now Dark Order definitely seems like the number 1 heel faction. So it definitely makes more sense to me for Dark Order to win this. So that's my pick, as the Dark Order.
I mean, I am picking Dark Order. I don't agree that I want the babyfaces to win all the time, but other than that, the Dark Order is winning this. Like, if they lose this, they're just awful. And I don't know what else we're going to do about that. They're just going to lose this and they're awful. All right. So, we are up to the 21-man Casino Battle Royale. So the names that they have announced so far are Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Absolute Ricky Starks, Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix, The Butcher and the Blade. Eddie Kingston is apparently in it as well. And then Best Friends will be in it. Proud and Powerful will be in it as well. Jake Hager will be in it. Who else will be in it? I'm trying to remember who else is on there.
I was gonna say they didn't have like 20 people or whatever show up the Raw.
No, they don't have 20 people yet, but they did show everyone's gonna be in the match.
Yeah.
So Alex, this is probably the hardest match to pitch.
Honestly, this is tough, because I kind of feel like to pick the way that I'm gonna pick my winner for this is gonna be based on who I'm also going to pick to win the world title. So I'm probably going to admit I'm actually just gonna go with Darby Allin to win this, and that probably gives you an idea of who I think is gonna win the world title. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But that's just kind of how these things go. Yeah.
Darby
Allin to win this.
Right. I'm actually doing the same thing. So I forgot to say it when I did the intro. Is the winner gets an AEW World Championship match. Because of that, and I'm also going to tip my hand a little bit. I am picking Lance Archer. I think he's next.
Okay.
He's kind of been on the fringe of TV. Oh, Sean Spears is in this. There's a name I forgot. If you want to pick Sean Spears, he's also in this. But no, I'm going to pick Lance Archer. I think he makes the most sense as a winner. Who won the last one? That was Hangman Page, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense to him, because they kind of had him on the peripheral. They haven't really had him do anything yet. So I guess he'll just win it. All right, James.
I don't mean to interrupt before James starts. I do want to address a question in the chat. Audrey asked if they're going out Fortnite style, and the answer to that is kind of. If in this, because the way, just to clarify the rules of the Battle Royal, they have 21 people and they have 21 guys in total that are going to compete. 21 people are going to compete in total. They're going to have groups of 5 come out at a time, and I think
They're assigned to
yeah,
each student's cards, so the
exactly.
spades, clubs, hearts,
and one lucky person.
and then we get
Yeah,
one wild
one
card.
lucky person gets the. I think the deal was that they get the lucky 21 spot. They get to be the last person to come in, and they get the wild card.
Yeah, they're either called the wild card
Yeah.
or the Joker. I don't
But
remember.
I think in that, if that's Fortnite style, then yes. To answer your question.
Well, Fortnite style is the battle royal style of shooters, which are
everybody
map smaller and smaller and smaller. I mean, the battle royale is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller because the way people get eliminated in the battle royales are thrown over the top rope and both feet touch the floor.
Right.
And Alex, you're.
What's that? I'm back.
You back? Okay. Yeah, okay. Good. Lost you for a moment.
Oh.
Your audio.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's how that works. Anyway, James, you want to pick your winner for who's going to win the Battle Royale?
Yeah, have they decided who's the 21st one? They haven't. It's a mystery.
No, that's going to be a surprise, most likely.
It's going to be Wardlow.
Wardlow?
Wardlow. I like that.
Wardlow.
That's a good. That's a solid pick. I like that.
I really like that, actually. I guess we know what our main events picks are now.
Yeah.
That's a spicy.
It's going to tie in, and I'll tie in when it gets to the main event and everything, and explain why I think it's Wardlow, and then what's going to happen in the main event.
Right.
So
Hi, Rob. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. All right, let me move on to the next match, which is Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa, which is a singles match for the AEW's Women's World Championship. I get to pick first. It's going to be Hikaru Shida. She's dominant, and also Thunder Rosa is not under contract, and I don't know that we have any. Even though we talked about them having like plans to do AEW versus NWA, we haven't seen enough of Thunder Rosa for me to think that like she's going to win. Like she only showed up last week. If this was a month-long program,
yeah.
But anyway, Hikaru Shida is my pick. James.
Same. I think it's Shida. I think it's going to be a great match. These are two great workers. They're going to put up on a good show. But in the end, I think Shida's going to have Shida win this. So I think it was Shida.
Okay. Alex?
Honestly, yeah, I agree that I am pretty sure it's going to be Shida. This is very much a match that's more about just having a really good women's match on the card. And the teasing of, again, as we talked about earlier, the teasing of something going on involving the NWA, and just the fact that they brought their champion onto the show. But that said, I do think Shida's going to end up winning this for sure.
All right. So, next match on the card, we'll start with James. It is the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The champions Kenny Omega and Adam Page defend their title against FTR. Fear the Revelation, apparently, is what the R stands for, based on last week. Who do you got, James?
Definitely FTR is going to win. Now, they're going against who's going to turn on. Not who's going to turn. When are they going to? Well, it should be when they're going to turn. Going to be. So I know they're hinting at Page, either it's Page or Omega. They're trying to, you don't know which one to turn and everything. More than likely, it's probably Omega. Right? Yeah, if I had to guess, it's probably Omega. If I have to re-roll, because then Omega go into. They want to move into main, but FTR is winning this just because they've been teasing that these two have been gonna go at each other's throats.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Alex,
I would say Alex. I would say FTR.
Okay.
Alex. What you got?
I am gonna go with the safe pick and assume that the champs retain. I think we'll. Yeah, I'm gonna pick the champs to retain. I think it's possible that we'll still see the turn, and I also think it'll probably be Omega. But as a safe pick, because I really don't feel like taking a spoonful of cinnamon, I'm gonna go with the champs to retain.
All right. I think FTR will win, so I'm gonna pick them. I think exactly what the real Rob Lowe just said in chat. FTR, and then Kenny is the one who turns on Hangman, rather than Hangman turning on Kenny. So FTR will take the titles,
See,
which is
great minds think alike, Rob. Great minds think alike.
So
yeah, right.
Yeah, so
All right.
regardless of who wins, I think we're all in agreement here. Kenny's the one who's gonna turn on
that Megan Page
because he's probably gonna be
Yeah.
sick and tired of Hangman doing what he's been doing.
I'm sick and tired of Hangman Page. Oh my gosh. His character's so off. Like, he literally comes out looking like he's drunk, and I don't like it. It's not funny. All right. Let's go to the next match, though. I don't want to break down. We're not here to break down Hangman.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, so our next match, the penultimate match on the card. I'm not sure if this was actually where it was positioned, but it is the Mimosa Mayhem match between Orange Cassidy and the Demo God, Chris Jericho. Alex.
Ooh, this is a tough one. This comes right back to the conversations we've been having about this whole feud. Because
it's like, what's the problem?
I don't know. I've liked quite a bit of what they've done, but some of the booking has been kind of iffy for me personally, and that's strange because I'm not usually this like picky about booking, but the way they've booked this feud has been kind of for me at times. I think that said, I'm gonna go with Cassidy to win. I think I really feel like, especially because this is a pay-per-view. This isn't like their special themed episode of Dynamite like we've had recently. This is a pay-per-view that people are paying $50 or whatever cost that they're paying, depending on their platform, to actually watch. So yeah, and kind of like Rob's saying in chat, I think Jericho has to put Cassidy over at this point, so I'm going with Cassidy.
All right. So I mean, I'm with two thoughts of this. It really depends on like where we're going, because this started with a feud between Jericho and Mike Tyson, and Jericho calling out the baddest dude on the planet, and then Cassidy walks out. It's just a swag moment. Cassidy is the biggest balls in wrestling, and I love it. So. And I could do the smart thing now and like look up and see, is Mike Tyson coming back to AEW or not? Because if he is, then Jericho's going to win. If not, then. But I like if you don't, I'm picking Orange Cassidy, and I'm making the argument like if you don't have Orange Cassidy win, then what are we even doing? What was all this for? Right? This guy is a star in the making. He needs to go over Chris Jericho. It needs to be decisive, and Chris Jericho needs to take a bath in a little bit of bubbly.
Yep.
James. Demo God or
who's wrestling again?
Who's
Jericho and Cassidy.
Jericho.
It's okay.
Jericho and Cassidy.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot. Like I said, I'm sorry. I forgot who Cassidy was. That's how much it slipped my mind. Jericho.
Oh my gosh. The Demo God, Chris Jericho, or freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy? You're picking Jericho?
Jericho.
All right. Great. Cassidy's like the best promo in wrestling, too. All right. Let's go to our main event then. So it is Jon Moxley, the champion, versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, for the AEW World Championship. I go first, and I think Jon Moxley retains. I think the way they kind of booked MJF, like MJF had that hot fire promo to begin with, and then for weeks he was just like punked out by Chris Jericho, by Jon Moxley. And it makes me feel like that AEW doesn't believe in putting the top strap on MJF yet. So I want MJF to win. I think he should win. I think that is the way they should go. But in my head, I'm thinking they're going to take the safety because Jon Moxley is known commodity, right? And he can have a good match with anyone. So I think Jon Moxley retains the AEW World Championship, and I'm very sad about that. James?
I said, like I said, goes back to my Wardlow pick. I say MJF takes it here,
Really?
and then we have. Well, it can go either way.
Yeah, I was actually expecting you to take Jon Moxley with the Wardlow pick, but hey, MJF.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to go,
I don't want you to change your pick.
I'm
No,
going
that's
to go
fine.
with,
Great.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I like it. I say this. I say MJF wins. Then you have Wardlow now have number one contender, and MJF is looking at him sideways now.
That's definitely a great
I
story.
like that story. Yeah.
So then now you have him with the title. Now he's paranoid because his manservant is
Right.
now the next in line. So you have that going. Again, you can then break Wardlow off if you want, or you can have teasing Wardlow's going to do something to cash it in on him like that. So yeah, I say MJF. Plus, it would be nice much as Moxley has been champion. I think it's time to put MJF as forefront at this moment, and I think it'll be good at least because Moxley is basically doing, honest with you, he's doing Stone Cold. So,
yeah.
So
yeah.
All right, Alex, you are
last
up.
But before I make my pick, I'll quickly address Rob's comment in the chat. He said, "Imagine Eddie Kingston winning the Battle Royal," and he's right. Those matches with Mox would be a fun watch, and with Lance Archer because they had their feud in New Japan as well. I think those are solid. Right. Those are solid Battle Royal picks for those reasons.
In fact, I've picked Lance Archer for that reason.
Exactly. I think those would be fun. I am also going to go with MJF, and that is also why I picked. I actually picked Darby Allin to win the Battle Royal because of the sort of kinship between Allin and Moxley, and I think that something will kind of come off of that. With Darby winning the Battle Royal and then MJF winning the thing, I kind of feel like the amount of what they, I think that everything they've been doing with this build has kind of led towards MJF winning. I like the fact that for once it's not like, I like that even though they've been doing a lot of fire, like a lot of hot fire with MJF, I like the fact that the finish to this and the winner is not telegraphed. It could go either way, and that's something I can appreciate.
It would be one heck of a statement if now your top feud is Darby Allin versus MJF, because they're both young guys, indie guys, never had a platform before AEW. Like that would just be like a huge statement. And if they were fearless, they would do it. I think AEW still has a tendency to book scared, and that's why the first two champions were Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley. But that would be one heck of a pivot if that's what ended up happening.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we are approaching that time. So we picked our 9 matches. I don't have any bonus matches for us this week because there's nothing else going on this weekend.
Thank goodness.
So 9 matches. Yeah, right. 9 matches. Loser's gonna eat some cinnamon on Thursday. Next Thursday. We will be live Saturday night after All Out to react to it, just like we have been doing with our pay-per-views and other special like wrestling events.